Alrighty, so for this segment, we're going to go over some more watercolor techniques. We're going to start with wet on wet. And I like to use the wet on wet because it's fun. You're going to wet the paper so that it has a pool of water. And this is cool because the paint mixes itself. I'm going to take a little bit of blue and I'm going to drop it in. I'm going to do a little bit more, just put it around in different areas. I'm going to wipe off that, and I'm going to take some yellow and drop that in, and when it mixes, you can move it around, it creates some green. And you can drop in whatever colors you want, but it's a nice little effect that takes place when it dries. It's almost like a marbling. Okay, we're going to move on to dry brush. Dry brush is just what it sounds like. Your brush does not have a lot of water on it because most of the time when you're working in watercolor, you're having a lot of water in your brush and in your paint. Dry brush you use if you want to have small and finer details as far as wanting to do some line work. Do some texture, maybe some cross hatching, applying different colors, and getting just the straight pigment that you might want in your watercolor. So tiny amounts of water, almost like drawing, and that's dry brush. Then we have transparency. This is very important because in watercolor you need to work in transparent layers. You do not want to go too dark too quick. You don't want to do dry brush on your first try. You want to put on a really transparent layer of a color and then keep layering it up and up and up and build it until you get to the opacity that you would like. I'm going to do a little bit of red here, and I'm going to start with a lot of water. And I'm just going to paint it on there. Now this is a nice first layer, it's very transparent. I would wait for that to dry. Then I would take a little bit more pigment, and maybe over here I want it to be a little bit darker. Great, that's just one step up in the value chart for that red. Less water, more pigment, and it gets darker. And you want to continue to build. That is the way watercolor works the best because you cannot take it away.